Alan, so I'd like to hear your perspective on kind of this ever-changing market and how, how SynerComm and yourself specifically, how do you stay on the front line knowledge of I guess enough to be dangerous to be able to even do some research for Bob on, basically Bob's coming to you with a concept and you've got to figure out like, okay, well, that concept breaks into these 5 different pieces. We can do 3 out of the 5, but I need to understand the 2. So how does SynerComm address something that's not necessarily super core to their business, but it sounds like it fits into the overall solution?
Yeah, so it boils down to really the strength of my team. And what Bob doesn't see is the number of internal meetings that we have with my team to talk through some of the concepts and challenges that I bring to them. And we talk about really, it comes down to big picture. Where does he really need to go? Where is he today and where does he really need to go? And we always have to keep, with Bob and his organization, it's a great challenge because they're so growth oriented that it has to fit where they are today, but it also has to fit down the road. And it could be 6 months to a year down the road or 3 years down the road. It's got to be the right fit and the right solution.
Well, I'll give you an example, and this is so project oriented. We recently concluded a project with SynerComm around technical risk assessment, and it's essentially what the idea is to identify those risks within the organization that we think merit evaluation by a larger audience. I mean, the classic example of breaches or incidents are when an engineer makes a judgment call at the very bottom of the level of the organization and says, well, I don't have time to meet all of these controls. I'm just going to get this in and get it up and get the business running without having true judgment around what the risks they're taking on, because they're being measured and they're being told, hey, just get this thing done and get it up. Well, what we've been able to do in the last year or so within my team, within the organization, I put together a cybersecurity committee within the organization that has representation at the senior management level that convenes every month. And we've been putting together a pipeline of assessments or risks that don't fall into like a classic cybersecurity pen test. They're operational in nature, and they require a certain level of judgment and a certain level of measurement. And so we had this tool that we didn't know what to do with to try and measure the financial aspects of that potential risk, and also to put a process around this that was had a high degree of rigor, was engineered well, and had merit that we could take that level of risk, that documentation, that maybe that engineer left, hypothetically, let's say they left Telnet open and was using that for communication between our organization and another organization. We would gather that risk, we would put it in this process, we would measure the risk according to this tool. But SynerComm, what they were able to do, and this guy, Mark Spint, who is on Alan's team, is, I'll just say he's like, first of all, a first-class engineer. He's got, Power BI and Excel ninja skill sets that are just off the charts. And we were able to bring him, to partner him with one of my guys on my team that have, I'll say, exceptional skill sets there too. And, in the matter of 4 to 6 weeks, we had something that was absolutely just incredible. And it is suitable not only for a manager to look at and to make a judgment on, but it's also suitable, and this was part of the conversation I had with Alan early on in scoping this. I want that same document to be suitable for an uninitiated, non-technical board member or an executive to be able to look at that and understand it, and then provide potential judgment if it rose to that level. And I will say, they never even conceived of that here at the bank. So this is the first time putting this together, and we were out in front and really set the standard for risk quantification, if you will. And it was a really successful effort. It really worked out very well. Yeah, so that's definitely one project for sure that we are very proud of, and could not have done without SynerComm's skill sets.